Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Pi Network. I'm not a financial advisor. Make sure to always do your own research before investing money into crypto. So like everyone, back in 2021 I was mining my Pi coins, and earlier this year I remembered that I had some Pi coins in my Pi wallet. So I downloaded the app, or rather re-downloaded the app, because I had deleted it a few years ago when I thought that this wasn't going anywhere. And earlier, I think in February or January 2025, the token ends up being listed. That was February 20th on centralized exchanges, and I decided to try to get a hold of those tokens. So you have a process of moving the tokens to the mainnet of the Pi network. And that process is very tedious. There are some glitches involved in the app, and for some reason the last step, the 9th step, that is supposed to take you to a 2-week lockup period with a subsequent release of the tokens. So that 9th step isn't being processed, and I understand that a lot of people are stuck on the same step, and it's very annoying. It's been more than 3 months and I don't have access to my Pi coins. So if you're in a similar situation, let me know how long you're waiting for, or maybe you got approved. Let me know how long you have been waiting for. But the KYC was horrendous. It was very difficult to get through the KYC. With that being said, this is a $4.7 billion market cap project. We still don't have a Binance listing. So this is one of the biggest reasons why some people are buying into the project, is because they're expecting a Binance listing, and that will potentially pump the price to new all-time high prices. And that's a real possibility. Like with a Binance listing, maybe a Coinbase listing down the line, we could have massive amounts of money flowing into Pi, and of course that will mean that we have new all-time high prices, or at least we get back to the previous all-time high. Now if we go to decentralized exchanges, there's none. Centralized, we have Mexi, BitGet, OKX, which is where I would probably get the tokens. You also have Gate.io and a few other pairs on OKX. That's pretty much it. You all know about Pi. I did a video on Pi back in 2021. And if you still have your coins, you have to download the wallet. I don't know if you can still do the KYC. I think the deadline for that is done for. But on their Twitter page, they have 60 million engaged pioneers. We don't know how many of those are real people, because some people could have used bots, right? Some of these users may be bots. They have 4.3 million followers. And I would say it's a good idea to at least try to get your tokens switched to the mainnet so you can trade them. But if you don't really care about that, then that's fine. But some people actually made a lot of money with Pi, but only if their 9th step, their 9th verification step went through. For a lot of people it hasn't, and that's the main issue, that you can't get access to your money. I'm not sure if it's intentional. I'm not sure if it's some of the validators that are not doing their job properly. But let me know, what are your thoughts? It's interesting to see what everyone's current step is. And now what they did is Pi Network launched their own venture fund, $100 million worth of money in USD, and Pi is being involved, and we can read more about this here. This strategic program intends to invest in high-quality startups and companies across sectors, driving innovation and ecosystem growth by providing early support to more innovative utility creation and real-world integration. This moment marks a pivotal step forward for Pi. If we go to their website, of course you can get the app on Google Play and App Store. And I have them downloaded on both my phones. So decentralized, mobile first, user and planet friendly. I'm just trying to see if there's the little roadmap for the mainnet steps that you have to take, but I don't see that it's available here. Yeah, I don't think it is. So this is their ventures fund, and here's a quick mission description. The mission of Pi Network Ventures is to accelerate innovation and adoption in the Pi ecosystem through investments in innovative startups and businesses across industries. Pi Network Ventures is designed to boost Pi's utility, capture more production processes into the network, and drive Pi's integration in real-world use cases. So essentially, they want to get small companies involved with the Pi ecosystem, and they want to expand, which is, you can understand that's the goal of any company. So that's the TLDR on Pi, and at least my situation with Pi Network. I don't like the way they've handled the situation, to be honest. There's no real tech support you can reach out to. Like, it's very hard to get information about some technical issues you might be having. There are lots of videos with explanations of or some bug fixes you can find on YouTube and on Reddit, but for the most part, if you have an issue with your KYC, most likely one of those issues is not going to help you if you were in a situation like I was. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot to update. Other than that, we can jump into the price action chart and let's see what's going on. So we have a support trend line here that's holding us up on the price action. We have 3 bounces. I can add these arrows here to highlight the bounces there. So each time we come back to the support, we have a move to the upside. So this move was slightly bigger than the first one. Okay, so this move in 2025. And right now we're at the support as well. And this could mean that we're potentially going to be headed towards the resistance of the pattern again, because we rejected off of that resistance twice, once in March, once in May 2025 already. And the RSI is already below 50, I believe. Yeah, 42.2. And if we apply the same strategy with the local bottoms here, you can see how the local bottoms line up with the RSI. And right now it seems like we are at a local bottom for Pi, and you're at the support. Potentially we might have a move to the upside from here. If we want to measure the move from where we are right now towards the resistance, let's say sometime by the end of the month, that's a 46% move to the upside. That's around 93%. You're looking at 93% of profit, which is not bad. Not bad. Actually, sorry, not 93. Around 50% profit. Yeah, not 93. That would put you at 93 cents. But of course, there's always the potential for us to break past the resistance. So we might have a run-in with the resistance again, backtest of support, and then a subsequent breakout. And that would be a bullish signal. If we have volume coming in, if the volume indicator is showing us that there's lots of money flocking into Pi Network, we might have a serious breakout on our hands, and we might be looking for some targets to the upside. If we apply the Fibonacci to this fractal from the bottom in June to the top in May, we have a target at $1.90. That's what we're going to be looking at. Now, with this pump here, there was a whale that bought a lot of tokens, and I think that's what caused the pump. I think it was 70 million Pi tokens were bought, and that was based on speculation regarding the Binance listing. So if we have an actual Binance listing, there's a very high chance we're going to see a massive pump here for Pi Network. And unless that happens, I can't really be giving you massive targets to the upside yet. Although Pi has been printing higher lows, that's a good thing. And it has been printing lower highs, so that's a bad thing. We want to see a reversal of this, and we want to break this May high. That's going to be our first major target, and from there we can target the 3 extension levels, the 1.272, the 1.414, and the 1.618. Thank you all for watching this video. Let me know what are your thoughts on Pi Network. Stay safe, everyone, and goodbye.